Hello everybody, Old Man Nerd here, and this is the ongoing story of the Dell E1505, which was purchased in 2006 and is still going strong with many upgrades over the years. So since my last video was 2 years ago, it was an 11-year-old laptop then. Now I've now confirmed that the ship date, according to the Dell, was April 1st, 2006. So this is quickly approaching to be a 13-year-old laptop. And is running an SSD and Windows 10, and it runs fantastic. So I've had a lot of trials and tribulations with this laptop lately. The biggest thing is I was just about ready to give up on it because the backlight on the screen went out. It's one of the old LCDs with a cold cathode backlight on it, and the backlight went out. So I was like, okay, it's not worth plugging in a monitor. It's a laptop. It needs to be a laptop status. So I was just about ready to give up on it. And then I was at Free Geek, one of my local Free Geek, which is an awesome organization. If you don't know anything about it, I'd look them up. And they have what they call scrap tops for $10 to $20. They have these old laptops that, you know, they don't care about it. They're just basically sold as is junk stuff. And they happen to have an Inspiron 6400 for 20 bucks. And I was able to turn it on. It turned on. The screen was the exact same screen that I had before. Same model, same resolution, glossy finish, all that. And also had a keyboard, had everything except a hard drive and a hard drive caddy and a power adapter for 20 bucks. Oh, except it was the integrated video version, not the video card version, which mine is. So even though I do technically have a spare motherboard, it's the wrong motherboard. So I went in and bought it, replaced the screen, replaced the battery, because it had a battery in it that worked better, way better than mine. But ever since then, I started getting random driver errors, especially when it was on battery. And I'd already thrown out my old battery. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, so I can't swap it back. So basically, whenever it runs on battery, it gets Windows driver validation errors. And I thought it was just because it was running that same install Windows, which really wasn't running that well anyway. So over the last couple days, I reinstalled it, updated Windows fully, and still does it. So I think there's something going on with that battery and this laptop it doesn't like. So it runs fine when it's on AC power, it runs flawlessly because it's not running off the battery. But when it runs off the battery, it gets driver errors, which is really strange. As far as because batteries shouldn't need that much as far as drivers go. Anyway, so it just got a fresh install on Windows, and man, this thing is running fast. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and we shall see how long it actually takes to start up.
Wait.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, hard drive light's still going, and there we go. Now we can click on Firefox. Firefox comes right up. YouTube comes right up. And there we go. It has absolutely no problem playing HD video. And these speakers are still some of the best speakers I've ever heard on a laptop. So I do still need some more work. I need to get the DX9 stuff installed, direct play stuff installed to be able to play Need for Speed Most Wanted again. But I've been playing a lot of Age of Empires, the original Age of Empires on it. That's been a lot of fun going back to those days. But yeah, so that is, I mean, this thing is just snappy. Everything just happens. And SSD really makes a difference, and a nice, fresh, clean install of it did update itself to the latest version. So it is fully updated on the Windows 10, and it's running like a champ. And then I realized that the only parts on this computer that have not been replaced over the last 13 years is the motherboard, the video card, and then all the plastic casing. Everything else has been replaced. Oh, also found another 2 gig stick. I was digging through some of my extra stuff. I found another 2 gig stick of DDR2 SODIMM. So now it has the full 4 gigs in it, but the reason why I never did the 4 gigs in the first place is because the system is kind of limited. It says here, even though it's got a dedicated video card, it still only has 3.25 gigabytes usable. That's why I never bothered with getting the extra gig in there before. It always had 3 gigs, but it's hardware limited to 3.25 gigabytes of available memory. But it now has a full 3.25, so which is the most this thing can use, and this thing is just fantastic. It is just running like a champ. So yeah, this is still a 13-year-old laptop running a Core 2 Duo T7200. Has 4 gigs of RAM, a cheap Kingston 250 gig SSD, DVD-RW, ATI Radeon X1400 dedicated video card, and it does everything I need it to do. I mean, if I can watch HD videos on this and play Need for Speed Most Wanted, maybe some slightly older, slightly newer games, but games that are a few years old, may not need a whole lot of graphics power, this can still do the job. And as I said, I bought this one specific model because it was an inexpensive laptop with a dedicated video card, and those seem to be even getting more and more rare these days than even where they were in 2006. But other than the strange drive ratio with the battery, I don't know if I can find another battery or maybe an aftermarket one. I don't really need a battery for it, so it doesn't really concern me that much. It would be nice to be able to move it from spot to spot off the power without it crashing. But that's the only thing I really need a battery for on this, because other than playing Age of Empires, occasional Need for Speed Most Wanted with the Xbox 360 controller, and taking it on business trips to use internet, because my work, like a lot of corporate places, still requires Internet Explorer for certain internet sites, and my job is no different. So if I have to go on the road, I need a copy of Internet Explorer to use for my job, and that's what I use this for. It gets the job done. So yeah, that's basically part 2 and the trials and tribulations of this 13-year-old laptop. It is pretty much better than ever with this Windows 10 and this SSD on it. So, and again, watching HD videos on YouTube, if that's all you do, then a 13-year-old laptop will get the job done. Any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.